John Frederick Drummond had led his men deep into the jungle in search of the legendary Bloodstone, a magnificent gem held by an unnamed tribe of savages whose very existence Drummond had proved 3 years prior, at a meeting of the Royal Geographical Society, and whose location he had hypothesized and confirmed on this very expedition. Yet here he was, camped. In the wet and the dark, among the mosquitoes and the malaria, under a black sky, awaiting the end of the new moon. To venture forth without light is absolute folly, Drummond repeated, night after dreadful night until, mercifully, the lunar phase of the new moon ended and the waxing crescent began, and under its pallid illumination, he led what remained of his troop into a primitive, native village. The Stone Age villagers eyed them with cautious disdain. Their leader, Drummond soon surmised, was a shaman, half-naked, dark-skinned, with decorative scars etched into his face, stone-like beneath a headdress of black beads and varicolored feathers. "I am searching for a red gem," Drummond communicated through an enslaved interpreter. But the shaman shook his head. He held a long wooden staff, whose polished upper end reflected the moonlight. Drummond shrugged and whistled, and he and his men pulled out their guns. He repeated his communication. "Give it to me or I shall take it by force." Still the shaman shook his head. The villagers had by now all stopped what they'd been doing, and stood, staring at the confrontation in the heart of their village. There was a terrible quietness in the air, as that of a victim of a tropical disease whose wheezing agony has been ended finally by death. Drummond pointed his gun at the shaman. "Give me the gem and I shall let you live." "No," said the shaman then. Said it in English, much to Drummond's surprise, and Drummond realized that his outstretched arm was trembling. The villagers had begun lowly to murmur. The sound filled the village. Some of Drummond's men dropped their guns and ran back into the jungle. Drummond himself discovered he could not move, caught by the murmuring as if in chains. Then the shaman lifted his staff toward the night sky, lifted it until the upper end of the staff obscured the waxing crescent moon and the one fused impossibly with the other. And when the shaman gripped the staff with both hands, and swung, attached to the top of the staff gleamed a lustrous moon blade, whose sharp, crescent edge slid through the screaming Englishman's neck, cleanly decapitating him. The village stood in moonless darkness. The murmuring ceased. The shaman returned the moon to the sky, and began feasting on Drummond's corpse. The villagers soon joined him. When nothing but bones remained, the shaman picked up Drummond's head and cast it deep into the cosmos, past the waxing crescent moon, where to this day it remains, a planet petrified in mid-scream orbiting a distant, blazing star the villagers, in their hideous language, call Thanatopsis.